Hi, I'm Sally.
And I'm Semma, and we are
The Buffy Babes. We're going to be talking all things Buffy, rewatch, reboot, and fun facts.
So let's go.
In the 8th episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Willow accidentally releases a demon named Moloch the Corruptor by scanning an ancient book into the school computer system. Once freed, Moloch becomes digitized and begins manipulating people through the internet, including Willow, who believes she has fallen for a charming boy named Malcolm. Buffy, Giles, and the computer science teacher, Jenny Calendar, who's secretly a techno-pagan, team up to stop him, eventually trapping Moloch in a robot body and destroying him.
Nice. I, Robot You, Jane. I love the title of this one to start with.
Yeah.
Because it's like Tarzan, isn't
Yep.
it? I'm Tarzan, you, Jane. And
Yeah.
obviously that's very obvious, but I like it anyway. I like the subtle like nod to stuff and like
The little
even in
pop
here,
culture references, yeah.
yeah, even in here, like Buffy says, my spider sense is tingling.
Yeah.
I love that as well because it's that thing that TV shows do when they're really supernatural, but then they relate back to things in your world. So it makes you feel like they're a part of your world
You're
so
living
much
in
more.
the same world, yeah.
Yes, it's like, oh my gosh, Buffy watches Spider-Man. It's just like,
Yeah.
she knows what it is. Do you know what
find
I
it
mean?
funny that it happens at a time where Giles doesn't know Spider-Man. Like, he doesn't
Yeah.
pick up on the reference. Whereas
Yeah.
literally everybody watching this show will have heard that phrase, my spidey sense
Yes.
is tingling, and will know where it
Yeah.
comes from and what it's about. And Giles is just completely clueless.
But because he's the type of person who's always got his head in a book, though, isn't it? Like, even though he had his, like, youthful days of being in a band, basically, like, again, he probably wouldn't have sat there watching Spider-Man. So...
Yeah, true.
But the people watching Buffy would have known Spider-Man.
It's funny you say that about, Giles having his head in a book, even though he had his wild youth, Ripper Giles. Remembering that fact is so strange when you watch this episode, and he's so like fuddy-duddy around Ms. Calendar, and he's so like stiff and awkward and proper, and it's like, we know he wasn't always like that. How did he suddenly become this, really uptight, awkward British man when he used to have this crazy wild youth? Like, what happened, Giles? I want more Giles backstory.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love a Giles backstory. It's good. And I love Miss Calendar. I love her so much. Like, literally from the start, there's instant chemistry between these two, and you just desperately want more of them. That's what I loved about this episode, is quite a lot of Giles and Miss Calendar in this episode. It was, even though I guess it's sort of like a Willow central episode, you didn't actually get much of Willow. It wasn't really that deep with Willow at all. It was actually more about Miss Calendar and Giles, which is great actually, because I love them.
Yeah, because when I think back, or when I thought back on this episode, I associate it with Willow because she gets the crush on what turns out to be a demon. So in my head I link it with Willow, but you're right, it's not actually that Willow centric, is it?
No, it's not, which is really weird. And I thought it was interesting that it starts with the monks. It's monks, isn't it? Putting him in a book. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so like series 5 of the monks. When Glory, and like she's trying to slam the door down, and it's just like, I love that. I love how also things like this are slightly repeated, I suppose, throughout Buffy to connect everything. And also I thought, monks are very powerful. Why aren't people trying to be more like monks rather than witches? Like, they seem to be able to do anything. Like, they can make keys into people. They can bound demons into books.
That's true.
They can stop gods from coming through doors. And like why aren't people trying to be monks more? Why don't we know more about monks?
Maybe it's easier to become a witch. Less training.
Yeah.
Less locked in a tower.
Yeah, but it was very interesting that it was very similar beginning to season 5, which is I thought was quite interesting. I got a note in here saying how much I love Miss Calendar and how beautiful she is. So,
oh my god, she's so gorgeous, isn't she?
Yeah, it's that 90s makeup as well. It's perfect for her. Just the way it looks on her with the dark lip and
color,
everything.
Her
I love
makeup,
it.
Her eyebrows, it's perfect.
She's definitely like, because you know the way Buffy has her hair and makeup still allows her to look young.
Yeah.
I feel like Miss Calendar is very similar makeup to Buffy, but an more elegant older woman vibe. And I feel like I want to try that out now. Now that I guess I'm technically older than Miss Calendar now.
Yeah, probably older.
Yeah.
Sorry, Emma.
Sad to say. um, so I want to try out her makeup.
I think
try
you
some makeup
should.
looks.
You should, yeah. Try the Jenny Calendar makeup style.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the first time we see Jenny Calendar.
hmm
And yeah, I mean the chemistry with her and Giles is yeah, it's great,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
so good, isn't it? He's like, I'll be back in the Middle Ages. And she was like, did you ever leave? And it's just, I love the banter.
There's one Giles quote I really liked. Where is it? Oh, he goes, yes, a society in which human interaction is all but obsolete, in which people could be completely manipulated by technology. And even though this episode is so dated by its technology, I thought that one quote is just so apt even today.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I feel like everything about this episode you could technically take and apply to now. Like even with the demon being in the computer and everyone being like controlled by it, it's like, hello, is that like a euphemism for ChatGPT? Like it's just everything about the episode could be applied to modern day life.
Yeah.
And I do find that so interesting how something that's over 25 years old can do that. It's very interesting.
Absolutely. So at this stage, like internet chat rooms, people going online, it was all still quite new, wasn't it? It wasn't a commonplace thing. It was new. It was kind of
You don't know who
uncharted.
you're talking to, all that kind of thing.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that same message is still so true today. You don't know who you're talking to online. And it's, even worse now. Like they send you a picture. Is it AI? Is that actually a real picture? Did they just find it on Google Images? Like,
Yeah.
I feel
Even
like,
that thing with people falling in love with ChatGPT.
yeah.
Have you heard about this? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that also reminds me of like the demon like
It's
controlling
Moloch the
people and
corruptor.
yeah, he's the corruptor.
It is kind of
Don't
weird
listen.
though. Don't you think it's strange that it's like this centuries old demon? He suddenly finds himself in a computer and he's like, oh yeah, I'll just work through this database. Like, how the hell do you know how to do that?
Well,
You're
I
a freaking
guess
demon, man.
yeah.
You don't know how to work computers.
I guess he's not working in the computer. He is the
He is the
computer. I
computer,
think
yeah.
that's the difference because I thought the scene with Buffy trying to delete the file was hilarious because it's
Yeah.
like, I've never touched a keyboard in my life kind of vibe,
Yeah.
which just would be so the opposite of today. With like people being able to like do anything on a computer now. Even my daughter really good at using Netflix on a phone. And I just thought that scene was just so funny of like trying to delete the file and he's like,
Yeah.
no, you cannot delete me. And it's just like, it's quite funny. But yeah, I enjoyed the sort of like even like throughout the episode, there was like little bits of people coming up and saying something about like what's been happening. Of like, oh, all those files were deleted. It didn't say anything in there. I was like, oh, here's that guy's report, like the Nazis were
The Nazi
a model
Germany.
of a well-ordered society. I just love the little snippets of like comical like chaos that this demon is doing while he's trying to chat to some high school kids.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Like, I'm just gonna have some fun while I'm here. Mess with people's minds. Mess with their homework.
Yeah, literally.
Did you notice the funny thing about Buffy's information popping up on screen?
Yes, the birthday is different both times.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so her birthday is different. And the first time when Moloch brings up her information, it says her birthday is 24th of October, 1980, and that she is a sophomore. And then when it pops up on the other guy's screen, suddenly her birthday says it's the 6th of May, 1979, that she's a senior in high school. And it's like, how did they not notice that? And then later on in the series, her birthday is given as like January 1981, I think, on her tombstone.
Oh, really? Is
it's
it?
definitely 81.
Yeah.
So yeah, she gets 3 different birthdays, our Buffy.
I feel like that's a known thing amongst Buffy people, that she doesn't really actually have a proper birthday, that she
Yeah.
keeps getting a different one every time. And I think there's something interesting about that in terms of her character, and it keeps it, I guess, unpredictable and not cemented in time, I suppose, and it can. Yeah, I think that the fact that her birthday keeps changing just makes her, I guess, still feel slightly not real as a person. Um, it sort of keeps that sort of new supernatural vibe about her. It's like,
Air
well,
of
how old is
mystery.
she then?
We
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, we just don't know. I actually thought this episode, even though it was so interesting in terms of the whole technology side of it, it was also very sinister. Like very sinister. There
Yeah.
was like, suicides and
Yeah.
neck breaking
Yeah.
and murder and things that you would have seen up to now. Even later on in Buffy, I feel like other episodes aren't really as sinister as this. But obviously, I haven't watched it in a while, so we'll
Yeah.
see.
Dave's suicide.
I thought that
in
was really scary and
it was
sad.
it was such a like really confronting kind of moment to watch when you just see the body hanging there. And then it's just like, fa la la, they skip over it again. Like they
Yeah.
do. They just seem to skip over death. But watching it was really quite shocking, wasn't it?
It was. I felt so sorry for him. Like that, what's that guy called? Like Fitz or Fiddle? I don't know. What is that boy's name?
I'm sure it was Dave.
Fritz.
Wasn't that one Dave?
No, the one that was killed is Dave. The one who
the
did
other
it.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, he's creepy.
Yeah.
And even him like cutting up his arm and stuff, I thought was very sinister to have in this TV show. Is it 15? It's a 15 at the first season.
The age rating for the first season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is TV 14 or similar ratings like 12 plus or PG-13 in the US.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so not quite 15 yet then.
No. Yeah,
It's still like you wouldn't want a 12-year-old watching.
It was 12 plus. Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
I mean, says the girl who was 6 or 7 when she first watched it.
I don't technically know if I watched this episode though. Like I don't know how
often
much of it I watched when I was 7, but I know I grew up with it, and I became more religious with it, I think, as I got into like season 3. It definitely became a thing. I think I wasn't really allowed to watch that much. But yeah. But yeah, I thought it was really sad, honestly. And that guy is so creepy. And then also this is the first time we see Willow's bedroom, which I thought was interesting. You get to see a little insight into her world, because normally you see Buffy's quite a lot, but in this season and next season, season 2 as well, and in season 3 actually sometimes, you do see Willow's bedroom quite a lot with her and Oz, and then when Angel comes to see her.
Yeah, a bit more.
Yeah. You never actually see where's Xander.
We only
his
see
bedroom.
him once he goes down the basement, don't we?
Yeah, only once. But we never actually see his bedroom and stuff. And then Giles's house in season 2.
Yeah.
We see his house. I actually really like his house. I thought he had such a nice house. I like that whole sort of mezzanine level bit.
His house has always confused me. Is it like a detached dwelling? Is it part of a series of townhouses? Does that whole courtyard belong to him? I've never quite got the layout of it. Like,
I'm sure it's like some houses with a courtyard.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Like an apartment? Are there people living above him?
No, I think it's like a little townhouse. I'm sure it's like a townhouse with the other townhouses, and then they have a little courtyard that they share.
Because that's just always confused me. I've never quite understood how it works. Why? Because you never see other people there.
No.
And we do, like, especially in later seasons, once Buffy's at uni, they're there quite a lot, aren't they?
Yeah.
But you never see anyone else. They have fight scenes there, but no one else. It's weird.
Maybe it's one of those things where the neighbors just keep to themselves. Because if you went outside now, like, no one else would be on my street right now. So
yeah, true.
Like, how often are the neighbors just hanging around?
Something that I noticed in this episode, which I hadn't picked up on before, is everyone seemed to be kind of under Moloch's thrall, I suppose. Like he easily controlled them.
Yeah.
Even after he is revealed to be a demon, this weird robot thing, like he still has people doing his bidding because he's managed to control them, except for Willow.
Yeah.
So she's totally Team Malcolm, but then when she learns that he's actually Moloch or what he looks like she's not under his spell anymore. Which is kind of interesting because all the others just still went along with it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting that she wasn't under it. Like she had some kind of resistance against it. Or immunity,
I wonder if
suppose.
that's sort of like maybe that's like a bit of insight into like the strength that she's gonna have later, because she is a very strong and powerful witch. And I feel like that's something that's always sort of been inside her. She's just never tapped into it, which is why it came sort of so easy to her at the start to start learning that stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's a bit of a little bit of a snippet of, she isn't easily corrupted. She can't be easily brainwashed because she is quite strong-minded. Maybe that's a little bit of an insight to that.
And I also thought she was really, she came across as just being so much more mature than Buffy when she's saying, it's if you really care about someone, then those things, looks, don't matter. Whereas Buffy's just concerned about how he looks and, how they met and all that kind of stuff. And okay, fair enough. In this case, it happened to be a demon, so maybe a bad call. But in general, I thought that was a really grown up and mature point of view from Willow.
Yes, I thought so too, because I thought Buffy's example of having a hairy back was hilarious. That's the worst thing that she could think of.
Or when she and Xander are talking about who this guy could be, Buffy's worst case scenario is he's a circus freak, and Xander's worst case scenario is he's an axe murderer, and Buffy's like, yes, an axe murdering circus freak. That's the worst thing she can think of, is a circus freak. Circus freak with a hairy back.
And not the fact that she is a vampire slayer and he could also be a vampire, or a demon like he turned out to be, which I thought was funny. And considering she has fallen in love with a vampire herself, she's very judgmental.
Yeah. Oh, she does say that as well at the end, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. Which I thought was really sad. The last line was none of us will ever have a happy and normal relationship.
Yeah,
and they're like, ha,
and they laugh, and then
But then it's true, which is really sad.
Yeah.
So I do hope that one of them would have had a happy relationship by the time we get to the Buffy reboot, because it can't all be sad all the time.
Give one of them a proper shot at happiness.
Yeah, exactly. Or is it one of those things where people are only happy when they leave, so they've moved off somewhere else, so they're technically not in the show anymore, but they're just happy and boring now, so no one ever speaks about them ever again.
Maybe that's what they'll do with Xander.
Yeah, maybe. Because I don't know how they would cut him out the show, because he's, But I love Giles and Miss Calendar together, and it just makes me so sad about what's to come.
I know.
And and I love his thing about his speech about the smell of a book, and at the end about how knowledge has to have context. And I thought that was really interesting, especially with today, of how we're constantly absorbing information, say from TikTok and Instagram and Google and ChatGPT. None of it's really having context, and I think that's why it's harder to remember it, I feel like, because you could technically do an entire degree online, but will you remember any of it? Will you remember what you learnt online rather than in a school with friends and having books at your on your desk and having that actual experience to go with the knowledge that you're learning? So I thought that was a really interesting take. And now I feel like, maybe I should try and learn with smelling stuff. I want to learn how to do this and just start sniffing, I don't know, coffee or lavender and
all this information will come back to you.
Yeah. Every time I sniff lavender, I'll know all about aerodynamics or something.
Worth a shot.
I should have done that at uni. That would have really helped.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like that because I love the smell of books too, especially at a library. I've always loved libraries and I love sniffing books at a library. I know it sounds really weird, but I love doing that. And I love old books as well. Like brand new books don't really have much to them.
I
They're
am the complete opposite. I love the
really,
smell of a new book. Oh, I could
really.
sniff a new book all day long, but old ones, especially library books, I'm like, oh, what have people been doing to this book? What am I
Oh, I don't think of
smelling?
it that
What's in
way.
these pages? Ah, no, it's all about the new books.
Is it? That's funny. No, I do prefer an old book. The older the better. I don't like white pages. I'm with Giles on that one.
Ms. Calendar is just such a good match for Giles, though.
Yeah, they
I
get
love
along
that
really well.
she's smart, but in a
Mm,
different way, and
mm,
she challenges him,
mm. And very
but
witty as well.
witty,
I like,
yeah. And then there
yeah,
also is just that chemistry between them as well. I think,
yeah,
oh, it's such a shame.
yeah. But he's like, oh, well, you have to go now. We must do this again sometime. She was like, we were fighting. And he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
He's like,
lovely.
look,
But I think that
that was
also
a
goes
good
with the
line.
fact that he just loves this interaction with her. He loves interacting with her. I
Mm,
don't think he really cares what they're talking about.
yeah. And his reaction when he tells her what's going on, and she's so unbothered by it.
Yeah,
And
I
in
think he
fact, the
loved that.
opposite. She's just like, oh yeah, I've been expecting something like this to happen, kind of
Yeah,
thing. And he's like,
yeah,
what?
yeah. But it's funny that she didn't ask him. So he was like, well, who are you? Are you a witch or blah, blah, blah?
Mm,
And she's like, oh no, I'm a techno pagan and
mm,
whatever she calls herself. But she didn't
mm,
ask him. She was like, well, how do you know about this stuff? You're a school
mm.
librarian. Like, I thought that was interesting that she didn't ask him. I guess because
Yeah.
she technically already knows, I suppose, because she's been sent there, hasn't she, to watch Buffy?
That's right. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, you're right.
Ah, sorry, I reminded you. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe it's because she technically already knows, but I thought it was interesting that she didn't ask and he wasn't
Mm,
curious, like tried to lie about how he knows or like anything like that. It
yeah.
just went straight into, okay, let's sort out the problem, basically.
It's not like beyond the realm of imagination that he would just be into that because of his reading, though, I guess.
Maybe,
So he probably just assumes that she's seen the kinds of books he has around
mm,
and just
yeah,
thinks
I
it's
guess
because of that.
so.
Yeah.
I also thought it was funny how they were getting like other kids like Dave and Fritz, whatever his name is, to scan in these books about demons and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
does he just allow everyone to like read whatever they want in the library?
Just two randoms coming in. Yeah, have our demon books.
Yeah, literally. Like, I guess, everyone should be prepared and they should know about this stuff, but also, isn't it supposed to be a secret as well? Like, or is it just the fact that she's a slayer is the secret, but the
Yeah,
fact that there are
because I
demons
mean,
and vampires is not the secret?
it's like everyone knows, but they don't talk about it, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit like that, isn't it? Because I feel like at least one student dies in every episode kind of thing,
Yeah, yeah.
and no one ever mentions it ever again. Um, Oh my gosh, and Miss Calendar's flirting like right at the end when he hands her like some sort of chain or something, and
Yeah.
he's like, I don't dangle a corkscrew from my ear, and she's like, that's not where
That's
I
not where it
dangle it.
dangled.
Yeah, I thought that was really clever of her. She's so
Yeah.
funny, getting him thinking about other things.
Old
Yeah, no,
fuddy-duddy Giles.
yeah. He does really act like a fuddy-duddy, doesn't he? Like he's never
Mm,
done anything with anyone and he's never like
mm,
had a girlfriend, which is
mm.
obviously isn't true.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's just because it's that thing of like he's had this big youth and he's gone crazy, he's let his hair down kind of thing. Then he went back to being a watcher and just like put his head down and really wanted to do well at that thing and sort of forgot about himself, I suppose, and like
Yeah.
his personal life and what he sort of wanted.
Yeah.
So
But I
maybe
mean
it's more like that.
the way he reacts to that line in particular about that's not where I dangle it.
Mm.
It's like he's never, you know, experienced kissing a girl at the very least, or anything like that. It's like you can't have forgotten that part of your life. You can't be all embarrassed
Yeah.
and like, oh, sure,
But I do feel like
whatever is she talking about?
when you haven't like kissed someone in a long time, it does feel like a naughty, embarrassing thing. Because I even remember when me and Luke were like apart for a few months because I went and studied in Strasbourg. It was like 6 weeks before we saw each other again, and it's just like, do I even remember how to kiss? Like, it's been 6 weeks since we kissed. Like, it
Yeah,
does
and
feel naughty and new and exciting when you haven't done it in a while.
I
So I
suppose
do
he's
feel
been
like,
so far removed from that, hasn't he? He's been
yeah,
so deep
yeah.
in the Watcher life.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's why, like, he's not necessarily like being a fuddy-duddy because he has never done it. It's more like he's just sort of forgotten about that stuff.
But then later on, he has, is it Olivia? He's like
Yeah, Olivia, yeah.
and you kind of get the feeling that they've known each other a long time, that, this
Yeah.
has been going on and off on
Mm,
occasion, like for a very long time. So probably
mm.
even before Ms. Calendar.
Yeah, I'm sure. But maybe it was more like from youth times, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
It's sort
mystery
of
of
hard to know.
Giles.
It's sort of hard to know what that time scale would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But
I
maybe
mean,
like being with Miss Calendar reawakened him and he
how
wanted
old
to,
is Giles supposed to be in this season? Do we know?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Because
My
I
age,
always think of him
35.
as being older, like way older, but I think he's probably supposed to be younger than what I think he is.
Yeah. I'd say that like 30s. Like he's not meant to be that old, is he?
Mm,
30s, 40s, maybe very early 40s.
yeah, okay. So in real life, Anthony Head was 43 when the show
Okay.
debuted. So he can't be too much younger than that.
Mm, yeah. Because I guess he's also supposed to be a little bit older than, I guess, Joyce and stuff.
Yeah. Is he?
I don't know. But he sort of doesn't have an age. Do you know what
Timeless.
I mean? Like he's just like adult age, whatever age that is, in any sort of time.
Mm,
He's an adult age.
yeah, Miss Calendar seems quite a lot younger, doesn't she?
Mm. But how much younger? I'd say 30.
Well,
She's like a woman.
the actress was 28,
Was she?
I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So late 20s, early 30s range. Because she's not like acting like, I don't know, a 21-year-old or
Oh, wow.
what?
So Charisma Carpenter and
Mm.
the actress who plays Jenny Calendar are actually the same age.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Because I knew that Charisma Carpenter was a
She
lot
was
older
older, yeah.
than the cast, even though she was playing younger. But I
Isn't that
didn't
funny?
realize she was the same age as Jenny Calendar. It slightly makes the whole thing of her and Wesley seem less gross, but
Yeah.
because she's technically his age anyway. But still, the fact that she's acting as a high school student who's only just turned 18 is very weird.
Mm.
But yeah, we'll
That's
have to get
funny.
into that in later episodes. Yeah, I didn't realize they were the same age. That's interesting. So she could have been a teacher as well, but I'm glad
Yeah.
they made her a high school student.
Yeah. No one could be Cordelia except for Charisma Carpenter.
Yeah, definitely. So, Sally, do you have any fun facts for us for this episode?
I've got quite a few fun facts about this
Oh.
episode. Okay, so sticking with Ms. Calendar,
Hmm.
and apparently how young she was. She was actually supposed to be a much older character, and
Okay.
she was supposed to be called Nikki. But they
Oh,
avoided the name Nikki because of any confusion it might have had with Nicholas Brendan, who I think got called Nikki on set.
right.
And also after they cast the woman as Jenny Calendar, they decided to go with her, bringing a more edgy, modern feel to the role, which she does perfectly. I can't imagine having an
Yes.
older Miss Calendar.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I think maybe she might not have had such as big of a role if she was older,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah. definitely. I feel like they wouldn't have
Um,
had the same kind of chemistry.
no, definitely not. Maybe she would still have been the teacher. She probably still would have been sent to watch Buffy,
Yeah.
but she wouldn't have had that same relationship with Giles, I suppose. I don't know. It
Yeah.
depends how much older she was supposed to be.
Yeah.
The actor Michael Gregory, who played Moloch, had
Hmm.
such limited visibility inside his suit, which was also hot and heavy,
Uh,
made movement really awkward. And you can kind of see that in the scenes. He doesn't actually move around a whole lot, does he? There's a lot of
no.
grabbing with the hand and breaking necks, and
Yeah.
not much more than that.
Or just like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And Moloch, in fact, has roots in real world mythology. So
Oh.
he's often associated with child sacrifice in ancient texts. He appears in the book of Leviticus. Moloch is condemned as a god to whom child sacrifice was offered, although some scholars now suggest the name might also refer to a type of sacrifice rather than a specific deity. And in
Oh.
later Christian tradition, Moloch was described as a demon.
Interesting. Well, it's very
We
cool that
also
it's.
have Joss Whedon providing an uncredited appearance or voice appearance in this episode anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as newscaster. So he never appears in Buffy except for his voice on this one episode. He appears in
Ah.
Angel, but yeah, not again in Buffy. And also, this is another one of those episodes without a single vampire in it and no mention of the Master or any of that plot line.
Interesting. I guess because the previous episode, Angel, was so heavy against vampires and the Master and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. That's
It's a break
what
from that,
Buffy
isn't it?
does really well, is like sort of switching things up a bit.
Yeah.
It's not always like doom and gloom or always about the same storyline. Like, because there's so many episodes,
Yeah.
you can switch it up and they can go back and forth with stuff and have a light-hearted one after a more heavy-hearted one. And I
It's
feel like
quite
that's what Buffy does quite well.
Yeah, it's quite funny though, because in season one, I think there's only 12 episodes in this season.
Hmm.
So that was the 8th episode. But there's a lot of episodes in this season that don't deal with the Master, which is like the big bad of
Mm,
the whole season, which I don't
mm,
know, it seems like a high percentage when you've got so few episodes to begin with. But then
mm.
later on in season 7, and this is something that I don't like, is that it's so plot driven with the
Yes.
first. In every single
Yes.
episode, there's the occasional episode which,
Mm,
provides a bit of light relief, but you do get tired of it. So I quite
mm.
like, same as you, there's these episodes that break it up, but I'm just surprised at how many there are in season 1, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. And you still get, I think, enough story to fear the Master and understand his backstory
Yeah.
and then understand the bad thing that's going to happen if he's released. So I feel like they've done it well to like not talk too much about him, but enough so you do get that he is the big bad and
Yeah.
it is leading to something.
And you definitely do, don't you? Because when you think back on season 1, you think the Master.
Yeah.
And even though there are so many episodes where he doesn't feature or isn't discussed or anything like that, he's still there lurking in the background. And that clearly sticks with you for the whole season that he's there. Which is quite clever, really, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I was also thinking in terms of the Master, because he tried to open the Hellmouth, which is why he got stuck. But the Hellmouth is under the school, specifically under the library.
The library, yeah.
Does that mean that he's literally under the library, or is he somewhere else?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Because it would be really creepy if he's literally down there the entire
the
time
whole
and they
time.
don't know. Yeah, and he's just like, hey guys, just waiting
down
for,
here.
just waiting to get some vampires to get me some food so I can release myself. But
Yeah, I'd
no
never
one's
thought of
listening to
that.
me. Yeah, unless it was like, I don't know, another location and he was on his way to the library and I don't really know, but
How
underneath
do the other vampires get in and out to see the Master?
through the sewers.
Through the sewers?
in the graveyard, but I don't really know in terms of like how far away the graveyard is to the school.
It's quite close, isn't it? I'm sure in another episode she just runs there from the school in.
She's always running
It's
everywhere from the school.
She does, yeah.
She runs home from the school.
Sunnydale is a small town, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cordelia said like the good side of town isn't very far from the bad side of town or something like that.
And there's not a whole lot of town.
There's not a whole lot of town, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So it must be quite close anyway.
Yeah. But I wonder if anybody knows the logistics of that. It'll be interesting. Yeah, so that was a really good episode on so many fronts in terms of technology, Giles and Miss Calendar. I can't wait to see more of them. I love their relationship. It's just so good.
Yeah, more Ms. Calendar.
Yeah.
For such a like really cheesy kind of clunky episode, I actually quite like it. I think a lot of people don't, but yeah.
I honestly feel like this is a bit of a skippable episode, but I forgot about Miss Calendar in it. So I don't actually ever think of this as, oh, that's the first time we see her. I always think of it more, I think later on. I especially think about it when he asks her out on a date and she asks him on a date. Like, I guess that's my sort of memory of like their interactions. I never really think of this episode as being the first time they interact for some reason. So yeah, I wouldn't skip it if I remembered.
Oh yeah, I was kind of surprised to see her because I thought it was later on that she appears. I suppose I really associated her with season 2 for obvious reasons, but I kind of forgot about her popping up in season 1.
A lot of people pop up in season 1, don't they? Because season 1 is definitely the introductory season of in like showing us all of the characters, and then it just evolves from there, doesn't it? We get to learn more and more about everybody and everything and how it all works. So it is still very much an introduction to
I like it that we do see all these characters popping up, even if it's just, you know, like we see Harmony in the first episode or second episode or something, and then she plays such a larger role later on, doesn't she? And
she does, yeah. Even like Jonathan.
Yeah.
Has he popped up yet? I think he has.
Jonathan,
possibly.
I think, was in the original pilot, but not in the actual pilot.
Right, okay. So he hasn't popped up yet, but he will do. He definitely does pop up in season 1, I'm sure.
Does he?
I don't know. I just remember him always popping up. He's one of those characters that's constantly there, whether you want them there or not.
You know how we were talking about Buffy making that Spider-Man reference, and it's like her reality is our reality kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to mention this on here because I don't have anyone else I can talk to about this. In Gilmore Girls, the actor who plays Jonathan is in Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
So he plays Doyle.
Yeah.
But in Gilmore Girls, Rory, I think it's Rory who makes both of them, makes 2 references to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Even though
she does.
Doyle is in that show. And I'm like, you've seen Buffy. You know who Jonathan is. Jonathan is Doyle. Like, how can this work? It's like a hole in the matrix or something. You shouldn't be able to speak about Buffy because someone from Buffy is in your imaginary TV show. Like, how can this work? How does this work?
Yeah.
And she literally says to Paris, who's going out late at night speed dating and ends up meeting or like hanging out with Doyle, she's like, oh, who are you expecting to meet up with, Spike and Drusilla or something like that? So like she's literally talking about Buffy when she's meeting up with a character from Buffy. I'm like, how does this
I do love how much Buffy the Vampire Slayer is mentioned in a lot of TV shows. Even the Vampire Diaries. Like, I know you've only just started watching it, but it is mentioned later on. I think season 3.
If it was going to pop up. Okay.
Yes, it does. Because like he's like, oh, come on, Buffy. Like he calls her Buffy because she's like trying to train to get stronger. And I just love that because they're vampires in their own vampire TV show, and they're talking about Buffy. It's just like, I just love that it literally crops up everywhere.
I can't think of anything else that I've seen that mentions Buffy in it.
I'm sure there's loads. I saw like a TikTok of someone showing how when it crops up in every single like TV show
Yeah.
and Family Guy and Simpsons and all that kind of stuff. Like they
Yeah,
did a
okay.
little like snippet of showing when it
That's
crops up
really
in
cool.
everything, which I thought was really cool. It's like it's a lot. It's a lot. Um,
Oh,
but I've
actually,
forgotten all of
they
them.
yeah, they definitely talk about Buffy in The Big Bang Theory.
Yes, and she's in it. Sarah
Yeah,
Michelle Gellar. I was
of
like, "Are
course.
you sitting next to Buffy?" Like, and she like, but I like that she's also known as Sarah Michelle Gellar in The Big Bang Theory, but
Yeah,
as Buffy,
as
it's just
Buffy,
like,
yeah.
yeah, so it's like, so they're in our world, but they also love Buffy because
Yeah.
they actually talk about Buffy quite a lot, and like Firefly and all the TV
Mm,
shows that I have watched and really like. It's just like, I am in their world.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's very interesting. I like it when TV shows sort of like collaborate, sort of like that. It's interesting. Anyway, I haven't heard much more about the reboot.
Neither have
Um,
I.
I've heard Sarah Michelle Gellar say that they have filmed stuff. So things have been filmed and
What,
they
more
current
than the pilot or
I think it's just the pilot.
okay.
She said specifically stuff, but she
Stuff.
didn't mention what. So she
Keeping it
said
vague.
stuff has been filmed
Yeah.
and they're currently going through it to make sure it's right because she's still adamant that they're not releasing anything until it's 100% perfect. So I feel like she's really setting a
Ah,
huge bar for herself of like
yeah.
she's not giving any allowance. So if
Yeah.
anything is going to be released anytime soon, that's we'll now see that as her version of 100% perfect.
Yeah. It's got
Do
to
you know
get
what I
the
mean?
Sarah Michelle Gellar tick of approval before
Exactly,
it comes out.
exactly. So it's very interesting that she's sort of like, I guess, setting this huge bar, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
it's not
nothing,
surprising, is it? Like,
yeah.
especially last week when we were talking about the episode Angel, and she
Mm,
had such a big part in the writing of Buffy's reaction to finding out that Angel's a vampire. Like, so even
mm,
from that early on in season one, she's been really passionate about the character and passionate
mm,
about the show getting it
mm,
right. So, and I mean, the reboot is that, but on a much bigger scale, isn't it? Because it's been
yeah,
so long since the show ended. There's going to be
yeah.
so much anticipation and speculation, and you know, they just have to get it right, don't they? Otherwise, people are going to
Yeah.
be so disappointed.
I do feel like it's one of those things that no matter what they do as well, like it's never going to be perfect for everyone.
Yeah.
Not everyone is going to be 100% happy, but I think that's where you just have to take it with like a pinch of salt kind of thing and
Yeah.
just enjoy it for whatever it's going to be because
Yeah.
everyone's probably imagined it like a million different ways.
Exactly. Everyone's going to have their own ideas about what happened after
Yeah,
the series finished and what the characters are doing and what they
yeah.
should be doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like everyone's saying, oh, how they should bring Tara back, and I don't think they should bring Tara back. So everyone has
No.
like lots of different opinions of what the reboot should be.
Yeah.
And I just sort of like I try not to think about it too much because I just want to be
Mm.
surprised. I just want to see,
Ditto.
pretend it's a new show with Sarah Michelle Gellar because I've watched literally everything she's ever been in. Um, and just watch it and enjoy it for what it is rather than hope that it's something that I
Mm.
want it to be.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. I think it's a good sign that she is setting her standards so high for it.
yeah.
But I'm not going to get my hopes up, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. Because
I
I would
think,
love her to be a mum, and I think I'd love that for her because I'm very much in that life. So are you. Like a lot
mm,
of the older fans are probably
yeah,
mothers and parents and stuff now.
yeah,
So they would relate to her still. Like we related to her when she was in school,
hmm
and now we'll relate to her again if she is a parent. So I feel
hmm
like that's a way that they could keep the same fans being related to the show. That's
yeah,
one way, I suppose. I feel like that's the most obvious way.
yeah.
But I don't know if they'll do that. I'll be slightly sad if they don't, but also okay if
Will
they
you be
don't.
disappointed, do you think?
I think I would be slightly, but I do feel like they might not do that.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they might not do that, even though I'd really want them to do that.
Can you think of any reboot that's come out recently that people have been happy about?
I don't know. They're like Buffy the Vampire Slayer is so much bigger than anything I feel like that's been rebooted because it's been so long. It's been over 25 years since the show ended or started. Since the show started.
Yeah. So what did
Yeah.
it finished in 2007 or something like that? No.
I should know.
2005?
Something like that. I don't know.
Buffy babes, we're so on it.
fan. I just watch it a lot, okay?
But I mean, the two big shows that I can think of is there we go, 2003 it finished. Sex and the
I guess
City
Gilmore Girls.
and Gilmore Girls, yeah.
Okay,
And
Sex and the
people-
City, they've done a terrible job with that. I hate it. I
and
hate
with
it so
Gilmore
much.
Girls as well. Nobody liked that.
I liked it.
I try
A
and
Year in
tell
the Life.
myself. I try and tell myself that I like it and that I enjoy
Really?
it, and that you know, this is just such a good realization of where the character should be and blah 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 blah. But I just no, I'm so disappointed by it, and I don't enjoy it.
I'm disappointed that Lorelai and Rory basically have never learnt from anything they've ever done. They're still exactly the same as they were.
Yeah.
But I feel like everything else has developed and is nice, and I like it. And I also liked them bringing in all of the old characters. I like what's his name, Dean, and all of that stuff. I like them being in it because I also like fell in love with him as a character from Supernatural as well. So I just like seeing all these people. And what's his name? The other one she likes, Jess.
Jess. Oh well, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
there can never be enough Jess.
I loved him being in it, but also because he was also in This Is Us, and I love him in This Is Us.
Yeah.
So I sort of like, I liked The Year in the Life because of the combination of all of these different actors and actresses that have gone on to do other amazing things. And it's sort of like seeing them come back to this world that they sort of started in. And I quite liked that aspect of it. But the actual characters of Lorelai and Rory just never developed. Like they're still in the same situation as they would. Like I can't believe that her and Lorelai and Thingy never got married that entire time. Like that just seems stupid to me.
Yeah.
But yeah. So but anyway, that's a different podcast.
But I mean, new podcast idea.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you think then you'll just be happy to see old characters that you loved once again?
I think so, yeah. I just want to see Sarah Michelle Gellar be Buffy. I just need to see Buffy. I need her to be wearing leather and kicking people. Like,
yeah. Do you know, every time I see her post on Instagram, like a workout routine that she's doing or workout class, I'm like, ooh, getting in for Buffy, doing the Buffy train. I mean, she does it all the time anyway because she is fit and fabulous. But now I'm just like, oh, is this for Buffy? Is this something Buffy related?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, is she going to do a flip? Like,
yeah.
Exactly. I just want to see her doing some kicks and that flip that she does. Like, we never even tried to do our Buffy flip for this summer, but we will. Next summer.
Yeah. It's not a winter activity.
We'll prepare. No, not in the winter. But yeah, so I just want to see that really, and I feel like I'd be happy if that's all that comes, I guess, to reality. I don't really much care about the storylines because I feel like it can be whatever, and they are going to try and modernize it and relate it to younger people, which is fine. But I'm not going to try and think about it too much because there are so many things that could go wrong, like, or they can make it really cheesy. Like, you know, when you get those other movies when like they get a text message and the text message comes up on screen and I just find it so intrusive.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's something I really picked out in this episode as well, was like these days the text message appears on screen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You see it on their phone or literally just the message comes up on screen. But when Willow was on the chat room with Malcolm, like the computer was reading out the message and she was saying it as she typed it out. So we as viewers didn't actually have to read anything. It was all said aloud for us. And
I like that.
That's so of its time, but it was so much easier to watch as well, not having to read things on screens.
Yeah, and if there was anything to read, it was like just like 4 words.
Yeah, it wasn't
like
much,
I'm
was it?
thinking of you and that kind of thing. But even then, it didn't come up on screen. It was on their screen, so it sort of like didn't break that 4th dimensional wall of, as the viewer watching something, like that's a little bubble of their world. So when that happens on screen, it's sort of like it stops that. and you're no longer watching their world. You're sort of part of it because it's on your screen as well. So I don't really like that. So I hope they don't do that.
Nobody wants this. I really struggled with all the text messages in that show. I love
it's so hard to read.
But I feel so old, but I struggled. So I really hope they don't have something like that. Yeah. Pause the screen. Let me put my glasses on. Oh, okay. All right, play.
Go on, dearie.
At least with this episode, all I have to do is turn the volume up for it. Bloody hell.
Yeah, exactly. I do feel like that a lot of I'm watching it on Disney Plus right now, but I remember watching it on VCR and the video being very dark. And I remember my mum always saying, "What? You can't even see anything. What are you watching?"
My dad said exactly the same thing. Why is it
Buffy,
so dark?
She's in a graveyard. Like, that's why it's dark. It's nighttime.
Yeah, why is it always nighttime on this show?
It's true, but I like that. I like that you could barely see anything because it just adds to the imagination of it. I think the more you make the audience imagine, the better the show. So in some cases, because if you try and show everything, then there's nothing left to really connect with or think about. So
yeah, agreed.
It's good that you can barely see anything. Just see glimpses of her, like. So what are we watching next week, Sally?
So next week, episode 9 is going to be the puppet show.
Oh, this one could have been so bad, but I actually love it. Anyway, yeah, that was a great episode, and we'll see you next week.
What did you think of this episode?
Let us know in the comments below.
Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again next week.
We're not just saying, we're